Good morning, Mr Forester.
Oh, good morning to you, Mrs. Beaver, and what a beautiful day to find you here in the woodlands.
But of course, it's always a lovely day in the forest. I mean, particularly when you're a beaver. There's always so much to be getting on with. Take today, for instance, all these lovely folk, they've all gathered to learn how to plant their Kielder Family Tree.
Interesting that you say family tree. You see, Mrs. Beaver, I've always thought that the forest was like my family.
And the individual trees, well, they're like my family members. You know, it's not that long ago when the whole of England was covered in woodland and forest.
In those days, people always lived on the edge of forests and in trees and in woodland. They knew a thing or two about trees. They knew then what scientists are only just discovering, that trees have feelings, just like you and me.
I know.
That's trees.
That's why it's so lovely to be near a wood, and even better to live in one like me. You see, in woodland, the sky is always clearer, and the air is cleaner. And when you take a deep breath in, you feel glad to be alive.
I've been planting trees in my garden for the last 20 years. Now, just think of it. There are 365 days in the year. In 10 years, that's 3,650.
And in 20 years, well, that's 7,000, blah, blah, blah. You do the maths. But it's a lot of trees, and those trees are there to look after us.
It is, and you know what?
No.
If all of the 18,000 folk who come to Winter Wonderland this year all take away their family tree and plant it, there's going to be woodland springing up all over the place. And that is a cause
A celebration.
So, Mr Forester, what do we do first?
Well, the first thing to do is to dig a hole. Deep enough to put all the roots in, and deep enough to hold some water.
Good.
So, watch me. I'll do my best. And we'll keep that soil.
And Mr Forester, am I right in assuming that if you didn't have a garden, you could put it in a pot?
You could put it in a pot or your window box. It will grow for a while.
Excellent. And then would you transplant it out once it started to get bigger?
Once it's bigger, keep it watered.
There's a good hole, almost deep enough to put the tree in.
Excellent.
So, let me put this here.
So then you have to squeeze round here.
Squeeze
is that
round.
right?
That's right.
To kind of loosen up your root. Otherwise it's like snapping off your legs. So, and then
You give it a little push. It starts to...
and don't go dragging it, no.
No.
Ease it out gently.
Ease it out gently.
It's a living thing, Mr Forester, is it not?
It's a tree, a beautiful tree. And look at that. It'll grow into a wonderful forest of Christmas trees. Now, let's get down to it. Put it down, put a little bit of soil on the bottom underneath.
I'll put that. This can go in the recycling because it's biodegradable.
That's it.
Yes.
Now we'll put this in. Put that in.
I'll hold the top for you. There you go.
And now we'll press it in.
Lovely. Excellent.
Now, Mrs. Beaver, we've dug the hole, we put the sapling into the hole, we put the soil back on it.
Yes.
The most important thing about planting a tree is to keep it watered, well watered.
Now, you can hear a gentle rain is falling today, but that will not be enough. You need a good, thorough watering of it so that its roots stay very wet.
And it will need watering for some time, every day,
Okay.
for a while,
Right.
until it gets sort of established and the roots start to grow
Okay.
and soak up the goodness in the soil.
Excellent. Right home,
There
Mr
you go.
Forester. Good work.
In Kielder, we plant 3 million trees.
crikey.
every year. And we only take out less than half of that number for industry. So that means it's a win-win. We have twice as many trees as we take away.
You see, trees help us to combat climate change.
They do.
A young tree, well, it breathes new life into the atmosphere. And as it grows, it helps to capture the carbon which is in the atmosphere and polluting our streets and cities.
Yes. Also, you know, trees, well, they create new habitats for wildlife. So in fact, when you plant a tree, you're helping biodiversity.
Fantastic, absolutely.
You know what, Mr Forester?
No.
By planting and caring for a Kielder Family Tree, you're part, we're part
Of the Green Revolution.
Green history in the making.
Well done.